Welcome to Maheepathi Talks. As you know that COVID-19, everything has been stopped, but learning and sharing knowledge has not been stopped. With the series of lectures we are going that, today we are going to talk about the topic which is very important, secrets of life to be successful in our life, which any academic background like schools and colleges are not going to teach us. And I'm glad and happy that today's resource person, Ajay Aiyar, has accepted to deliver the topic called the secrets of life, where schools and colleges are not teaching us. And it's my privilege to introduce Ajay Aiyar, and he has got 3 decades of expertise in high technology healthcare IT industry, primarily in the US, where he spent over 25 years before returning to India. By education, he is an electronics engineer and has worked as a design engineer, project manager, all aspects of training, global delivery director, and as chief operating officer. He co-founded a venture capital funded startup in California for a Fortune 100 MNC. He built a high performance clinical support team to support US hospitals from India. He now devotes his energies to empower students in schools and colleges and young professionals by training them on how to excel in studies, in career, and in life in specific. He lives in Bangalore with his wife, a scientist. He's blessed with a son aged 25 who lives in California and heads the sales team of digital training company. I'm glad and happy. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for accepting to deliver a session which is need of the hour. That is success secrets they don't teach you in school. Now I invite Ajay, empowerment coach, to deliver the session. Over to you, sir.
All right. Yeah, thank you, Dr. Maheepathi. First, I would like to thank you all for extending me the invitation. And this is a topic that's, very near and dear to me. So what I will do is, I'll use a mind map today to go over the presentation and cover all the topics. So, of course, the title, as I said, is success secrets they don't teach you in school, and which is very interesting, right? Of course, the purpose of a school is not that. There are a lot of things they teach, and they help us build the foundation for life, which is primarily reading, writing, and getting us a good introduction to the various subjects, right? Sciences, arts, all those things. So this really doesn't fall in the preview of a typical academic institution, definitely not our schools. And with schools, I'm using more of the US term, which is any educational institution. So in US, of course, even colleges are called schools also. But this is one topic that we need in life the most. And that's what I'm going to be talking about. So the first I would like to start is to thank everybody for attending, of course, for the invitation to the professor and his team. Okay, 1 second. Let me just share my power screen. I think my mind map. Okay, just 1 second. Okay, it's saying multiple participants can share simultaneously. No, I'll just one. Okay.
You have the share screen. You can click over there so that you'll be able to present yourself.
Okay, there we go. Yes. Can you see my screen now?
Yeah, it's visible, sir. I can see your screen.
Okay, excellent. I think maybe I can make it a little bigger if that helps. Okay. Okay. All right. Thanks for your patience. So thanks for everybody who was attending. I know there's a lot of things you could have been doing during this COVID times, but the very fact you decided to come to this talk tells a lot about you and your interest in this subject. So we'll start with a very simple question, okay? Who wants to be successful? Okay. So I know we are on a live feed. So typically when I do this webinar, practically everybody says, hey, they want to be successful. And which is very logical, right? We all have our own definitions of success. And we all aspire to be successful in our own way. Okay, in our own way, we all want to be successful. But there's a very interesting phenomena you will observe when you look at the real world. Less than 5%, in fact, it's even less than that. It's less than 4% or 3% truly call themselves successful. Okay, it's something that they have achieved in life what they decided to achieve. So it's a conscious choice they make and accomplish that. And this data is very interesting. If you, and this, most of you probably would have read this data, the rich are getting richer and how the top 1% or 2% controls 80% of, or something like that, of the world's resources, and how much wealth they have. And the other thing that comes very often in media, the disparity between the rich and the poor. So the question is, when everybody wants to be successful, how come only a few are? Few actually are. And just a couple of days ago, I just read an article in the paper or in one of the news portals that the 12 richest people in the world, most of them Americans, their net worth is more than 1 trillion. Yes, I'm not talking a billion, it is trillion. And how much is 1 trillion? In case you don't know, that is 1,000 billion. This is a completely different level of magnitude. I mean, billion itself is phenomenal. But these people, this group of just 12 people, okay, and of course, the article went on to criticizing the wealth concentration and all. But one thing what they missed, and a lot of people miss it because they look at the disparity, but they don't ask one fundamental question. And this is what I want all of you to ask yourself and also think about it. What is it they are doing that makes them so successful? See, it's not that they are robbing money, okay? Each of these persons are either investors or they have started some entire new industries. Look at Bill Gates. Practically, because of him, the world, everybody has a desktop, right? He definitely played a big role. Look at Apple, Steve Jobs, where it about the company itself. Okay, look at Amazon, which pioneered the online shopping portal, right? So these all people, Warren Buffett, he took investment to a new level. So all these people have been very creative and excel in their areas. And yes, it may be very convenient to criticize all these people, oh, how much wealthy they are. But that will do us no good. All that's going to do to us as individuals is bring in pessimism and sarcasm in life. A better way is what Chanakya said over 2,300 years ago. Learn from other people's mistakes. You won't live long enough to learn from your own mistakes. So there is a corollary to it. What I say is, you not only learn from other people's mistakes, but you also learn from other people's successes. When somebody is successful in any area, it does not matter. Okay, we don't only have to look at the super rich, right? There are very successful people in our lives. You'll see maybe the head of our companies, the CEOs. A lot of people have made it on their own. Okay, what is it they are doing? The right stuff that made them. So it's not only the mistakes, but you also study the right actions, the right decisions, the right training, what all people are doing, successful people are doing, that you can emulate, because that is the easiest way. You don't have to learn everything. As they say, follow a proven path, and the proven path is already been charted by the people who are already successful, who have already accomplished that you want to accomplish. Okay? So it may look fair from one angle, but my suggestion would be, let's look at it from the other angle and let's study what these people do. Okay? And we will talk about successful itself. Okay. So before we go more in depth, let me talk briefly about myself. So my name is Ajay Aiyar, and I graduated in electronics engineering. I studied in Madhya Pradesh in Indore, and within a few years, when I graduated, I got into a IT company. It was an American IT company. But before that, I'll add, so I was a terrible student. Okay. I struggled in school. Okay. I struggled in school. And the only way I graduated, got good marks in my higher secondary and in college was just mug it up. I just mugged up every single thing. But there was one little problem that happened. See, in school, somehow it worked out. Okay. Somehow it worked out. Okay. I got good marks, got into engineering college. But engineering college, year by year, mugging was not working anymore. Why? Because the subjects are becoming very, very difficult. Okay, they are no longer very simple subjects. They needed a conceptual understanding of the theories because it's building on all your prior knowledge. But somehow, what I call some miracles happened, and I got into electronics engineering, and later I graduated and I got my dream job. I got my dream job into an IT company, and within a few years, I was in the US, okay, which was again my dream. At one time, I didn't know how I'm going to go, but somehow miracles are happening in my life. Okay, and I'll talk about what those miracles are. And always I used to believe somehow the divine, or the God is very kind to me. He's smiling on me. And as years went by, see, I never learned how to study. Okay, and I got my dream job. I got my dream subject. Everything was working. What I wanted, I got. But later, after many years, 8, 10 years, I gave up my electronics engineering job because I just couldn't keep up. And that was a big shocker for me. See, there were all the theories you would have read. Oh, one needs to have passion for the work and they should love it. And all those theories. I was one of those. Yeah, I loved the subject. It was my dream subject. Then why did I quit? And after years of research, and I did have some sense to figure out if something is not working, I need to find out why. And over a number of years, I found out that we never learned how to study. So that was one big breakthrough that happened in my life. I looked for answers, and again, as spent a lot of money attending seminars and workshops and all in US. I spent like a fortune finding answers. And finally, I did find that. Once I learned that methodology on how you actually study, I was back in the technology game. And I started doing very well. But something else was happening in my life. I was okay by most people's standards, I was okay. But the challenge I was getting, I was not getting the kind of success I was hoping I should get. And then again, the other question started. Why? I'm working so hard. Okay. I'm doing everything what I was taught as a child, right? Or you work hard and you be sincere and somehow success will happen. Well, that was not working. And again, as part of my research, I went to a lot of training, learned, and finally found out that there is a science to it. Okay? There is a methodology. So success is not a fluke. And after I learned all this, finally I could get the answer to the miracles in my life. See, the things I was calling miracles were literally the success principles I was applying unconsciously. I didn't know about them, but somehow I stumbled on them and I applied. And anytime I applied, unknowingly, I was getting the results. So this solved the other bigger puzzle which I had. How come the gods, or the divines occasionally listens to me and other times doesn't? Okay, because what I was doing was purely by fluke or coincidence or whatever you can call it. When I was applying those principles, I was getting the results, however impossible they may seem at that time. And when I was not applying them, I was not getting the results. So after my corporate job, I decided, this is what I want to focus on. Because in India, we don't teach either of these things. And something I realized, and genuinely, I mean, Indian kids study hard. They are ambitious. They genuinely study hard. They genuinely want to come up in life. But then that's where I started this training company. So whatever, I've been very fortunate to learn all these things in the US that I can share with students in India now. So that's about me. So let's let me do one thing. So let's go and find out what is success really, So what is the definition of success? It's a very simple definition, okay? And one of the best definitions that I have heard. Success is the progressive realization of a worthwhile goal. And this is a definition given by Earl Nightingale, and you can check his video, The Stranger's Secret. Beautiful video. You can listen to it. Almost done 50, 60 years ago. This was done, and amazing, based on some amazing principles. Video, you can listen to it. The key part of success is almost done 50, 60 years ago. Anything that is worthwhile for you. So that's the first rule we need to understand about being successful. Something that is worthwhile for you as an individual. Not for somebody else, not for our parents or uncles and aunts and grandparents or, our peer group, our friends. No, what is worthwhile? And the other part is success is not just about money. It is, again, as it says, realization of a worthwhile goal. So somebody wants to become a teacher. That's a great successful thing because that is what this person wanted to become. See, in our society, we get very much carried away and we start equating everything with money. And that's a very wrong way. And if you listen to Earl Nightingale, you'll understand that, Success is what you want to accomplish. So if you want to become a teacher and you have become a teacher and you're loving what you're doing, you are a success in life. You want to become a nurse or you want to become a business person. So the first thing is something that you want to accomplish. So that is the very first rule. And then if I briefly break it down, since we have a very limited time, there are really only 3 steps to success. Really, it's very, okay, you may think, wow, is it really that simple? Yeah, actually it is. So first one is decide what you want. Second is create a plan for getting it. And the third is take action day by day. So let's take a very simple example. Okay, let's say you want to go on a vacation. Let's say you're in Hyderabad or Bangalore, where I am right now, or you're in Hyderabad. And let's say you want to go to, let's say, I don't know, we can say you want to go to Bombay, Delhi, whatever, Jaipur, let's say, whatever be the place, okay? So let's say you want to go to Jaipur. So decide what you want. That's where you are deciding, right? Hey, your destination is decided. Create a plan for getting it. So before you can go, there are a number of little things you have to do, right? And what are those things? It could be if you're working, hey, when are you going to do the vacation? What dates you're going to go? Who all are going? What is the budget? Where are you going to stay? What all sightseeing you're going to do? How are you going to go? You're going to take the train, you're going to fly, or, or trek, take a motorbike, whatever it is, right? All the arrangements, what all you're going to see, when are you coming back? So that is the plan, right? All things broken down. That will take you from where you are to where you want to go. And then from the time you have decided and made the plan to the time you go on your vacation, every single day, some action you are doing to make sure everything that needs to be done to make sure this vacation trip can happen successfully is done. Now, I took a very simple example, but interestingly, that's how life works too. So if you are a student and let's say your dream is to go to IIT, all right? Or maybe if you're in college, you may say, I want to work in some MNC, let's say, okay? Or you want to start your business. You have to decide what you want and break it down into all the steps, what you need to get there, okay? And then take action every day. Now, I can talk for hours on this topic, but really in nutshell, that's all it is, okay? So it brings us to a very important question. If it is so simple, why aren't people achieving it? Why less than 3 or 4% accomplish, are truly successful in their life? What about the remaining 96, 97%? Okay. So we look at what stops people from success, because if something is not working, you got to go and start what we know. Since I come from engineering background, and anybody who's engineering background can relate, what do? We do a root cause analysis. hey, why something is not working, right? So you go back and start debugging it. So let's look at it, okay? So let's look at the various things that can stop any individual from accomplishing their goals, okay? And I categorize them under the categories of lies, half-truths, beliefs, etc., okay? So see, as we grow up, there are a lot of things we pick up in life, okay? Many times, a lot from our parents and our relatives and all, because especially in India, we spend a lot of time with our family and extended family. It could be things we pick up in school with our friends and the news and other things that we hear. So from our environment, we pick up a lot of things. And some of these are outright lies, some are half truths. Okay, half truth is it's not a full lie, but it's not true either. And certain beliefs we pick up based on our life's experiences. And the beliefs play a very, very important role in how we do in life, not just from a success point of view, in any aspect of life. Okay, how we do has a lot to do with beliefs also. So let's look at, I put a list of 10, probably I can add a few more items, but this in general will cover a whole lot of points. Okay, so the very first thing is, and this is not in any specific order that I have put, is just to make sure that I document it and share with you. Okay, one could be our own conditioning and beliefs. As I said, our environment and the school we go to, the people we hang out with, okay, the news you read, all these things do have an impact on how we get conditioned, how our thinking gets conditioned, and what kind of beliefs we develop. It could be, hey, my own ability, hey, I'm not really smart. And in India, especially, this is very true. You know, if you come from a business community, they may think, oh, I'm not very smart to get good marks, but they'll be amazing in business. But they believe, hey, I'm a very good natural business person because he comes from a business family. Somebody who comes from a family, let's say the father or the grandfather was in the army, they are in defense. Okay. For them, being brave comes very naturally, and a lot has to do with belief, because they have seen brave people in their life. They live with them, breathe and eat and sleep with them. So for them, being brave is something very natural. And he may not think that he can become a great scientist. So that's what I said. So these beliefs come because other is lack of abundance. A lot of people have somehow have this belief, you know, that hey, there is only so much to go around in the world, and if I take more, somebody is getting less. Now that's a belief completely wrong. Okay, and how I can say with so much confidence it's wrong? If you look at in the last 500 years or 1,000 years or just maybe 200 years, look at the wealth creation that has happened, that humans have created. It's beyond anyone's belief. So there is never a shortage of abundance. But one could be conditioned to believe that there is this thing, you know, that there is a lack overall. Third, this could be another, and a lot of people suffer from this. Somehow, you know, if you're poor, maybe God loves you a little bit more. And, you know, or, you know, poor people are a little bit more spiritual. And this is, again, I call blatant lies. Why? And especially if you're raised in India, you'll pretty much believe none of the gods we worship were poor, right? If you look at Lord Rama or Lord Krishna or anybody of them, right? They symbolized ultimate in wealth, ultimate in power, ultimate in self-control. None of them were poor. They were the richest people of their times. But over the years, somehow this thing was promoted that somehow if you're poor, God loves a little bit more. It doesn't. Okay. In fact, when you have more wealth, you can do more good for the people, okay, than by being poor. Okay. So again, this all depends on one's conditioning and belief. The second issue we run into is conformity. See, we as humans have an amazing quality. We don't want to, as they say, rock the boat or, be different than the crowd. So we try to confirm, just like, it's really what I call the herd mentality. So let's say there is a student, okay? The child really is a wonderful artist. He loves animation. He can do beautiful drawing. His interest in maybe, becoming a movie producer or, becoming a director or writing a script writer. But guess what? What is the typical society's belief or the parents' belief? Oh, you have to become an engineer or a doctor. Because, that is what has status in society. And so a lot of people become engineers and doctors. They hate doing. And what they did is they conform to other people's goals instead of actually doing what was the true calling. And everybody knows it. At one level, we all know whether we really love this subject or not. So conformity is another thing that creates major issues for people. So if you are, not being as successful, really look into it. Think it through. Are you really loving it, what you're doing? If not, what is it that you love to do? And what is the definition of typical love that you'll say? Is it something that you get so much pleasure doing it? Time flies. And you will even do it for free because it just gives you so much kick doing that, something you truly love. It comes from your heart and you just are naturally good at it, right? So very important that one follows those goals. Third, this is a big one, okay? And this more happens to adults, okay? Being in a comfort zone. So what is a comfort zone is, say, as we go in life, especially as you get older, right? Things just happen where you are in a very comfortable situation, okay? And comfort doesn't mean you are rich or poor. Wherever you are, somehow, as they call, sometimes people use the term that life set ho gayi. I hope everybody understands Hindi here. So it's like saying, but things are going, I make enough money, I live in a decent home, I get enough food, I can take vacation. Okay, I may not be doing great by most people's standards, but I'm comfortable. And then there is no inspiration to get out of the comfort zone. So that is a very important rule that you need to understand, okay? And especially anybody who teaches success principles will tell you, anything worthwhile you want in life is always outside your comfort zone. And this is stops a lot of people because anytime you try to go outside the comfort zone, even if you think, suddenly you will start getting very uneasy feeling within you. It could be fear, it could be anxiety, okay? All the possible scenarios or how things can go wrong, because anything out you want to accomplish, anything worthwhile will always be outside your comfort zone. But this is a wonderful thing that happens. Once you go outside the comfort zone and accomplish that thing, now your comfort zone has become even bigger, okay? So every level, your comfort zone, you have to keep increasing it if you want to keep accomplishing more, all right? So just keep that in mind. So if anything is stopping you, you are becoming very complacent, you really need to think, hey, have I reached in a comfort zone? And what is it I should do to get out of that, that zone? It will be uncomfortable, but you have to do it. Otherwise, you'll be pretty much be stagnant where you are. Okay, this is another very key part. What I call is lack of technology or know-how. So as I was telling you, right, when I was struggling in school and eventually I gave up my dream job, what was missing was I did not have the technology of study. I did not know, I did not have the methodology on how you actually study so you can understand what you're studying and you can apply it in life. Okay? So it is not about memorizing something, okay? Actually, true learning. Okay? So when I got and learned in the US, that knowledge came to me and I started applying it, my life started turning around. Things really started going well. Same thing happens to success also. There is a science behind success. As I said earlier, things I used to think were miracles were really the application of success principles, except I didn't know that they were success principles. Okay. So there are very methodical ways, step by step. If you do, you will achieve success. It's as simple as that. So if you don't know those principles and how you apply it in life, you will always be challenged. So that's what I mean by lack of know-how or lack of technology or the lack of methodology, whether it is for studying, whether it is for success, and for every area, there is a methodology to succeed. If you are a project manager, since I have been one, and I know there is a methodology how you manage projects. There is a science and theory, everything behind it. So if you want to become a good project manager, follow those steps, learn those, and you will automatically become a good project manager. So there's nothing miracles about it. This is a skill and it can be learned. Let's move on to the next one. Okay. This is another big area, closed mind, having a very closed mind, not open to learning or different ideas or viewpoints. So this is what I call is like, I know it all syndrome. Somebody thinks, hey, I'm good enough, man, there's nothing more to learn, and they stagnate there. Or they are not willing to open their minds and listen to different ideas that may be different from their own. So we all have our own opinions and ideas on things, okay? But there may be different viewpoints that can open our horizon and open a lot of new opportunities for us. So anytime we close our mind and are refusing to look beyond, we will stagnate in life. So this is one thing. So if you're stagnant, somebody is stuck, you need to think, hey, have I closed my mind? Am I open to learning? And this is not the very glib kind of stuff. Oh, I love to learn and all. Deep down, have you actually learning? Are you better off today than tomorrow, right? Than yesterday. So these are the things we need to look for. And these are all, if you look at it, all these are more introspection points, okay? Somebody can outside can come and definitely guide you on these. But some of these we have to introspect, because in the end, success is what success really comes from inside of us. So everything outside is a reflection of who we are as an inside. So that's why if you look at all these points, they are more internal to us. And if we do an shift into within us, things outside will start changing. And it's an amazing principle. And that's again one of the success principles. So you cannot get success. You have to become successful by developing all the qualities that successful people have. All right? Let me move on to the next point. This is another very important thing. People don't invest in themselves. See, somehow a lot of people after school or college think my learning is over. That's it. But the reality is your learning will only begin the day you take your first job, you finish your college. And especially if you are in the high technology industry like I was, and you are in Hyderabad, you are in a major high-tech hub, learning will never stop, because the day learning stops, we are obsolete in our industry. So what a lot of people do, they will not invest in themselves. They will not upskill them, learning new skills. They will not spend the money, because a lot of learning requires money. But this investment is amazing because it gives you many, many times the return. Okay, they won't develop the skill. They won't work on their mental makeup, right? What I call the internal stuff. How do you change? Could be their health. They will ignore. They invest in maintaining good health, relationships. All these areas are there where you need to invest. So usually I tell, even my son, I tell them the best investment you can do in life is not real estate or buying stocks and bonds and all those things. I said the best investment you can do is on yourself, because every result you get in life comes because how you have changed internally as a person. So that investment is very important. So that you need to look at, are you really investing in becoming a better person, better skilled, improving your mindset, improving your attitude, improving your outlook, keeping better health. So all these areas are very important that you need to look at. So The best investment is on yourself. Let's move on to the next slide. This is another very big thing, okay? And this really comes from the entire sales industry, okay? Where everybody will try to tell you, this one thing you do in life, man, and it will solve all your problems. This one thing you will become a genius, and this one thing will make you rich. Let me give you a very bad news. There is no such thing as one thing. There's a series of things and multiple things that happen. And I'll give you an example you can relate to. Which part of your body is the most important? I want you to be right. Everything. Somebody can say, oh, the heart is more important. Really? Can the heart do without the rest of the body, or the arms, or the head, or the eyes, or the brain? No, it can't. Right? So if you think of this example like a human body, every single component, our organs and the hands and legs and our heart and brain, all have a role to play. And when all of them are functioning well, we are healthy and life works beautifully for us. Anything is deficient, there is a consequence for it. So anytime you hear, run from it, because there is no such thing as one thing that will solve all your problems. This one pill that will cure you of all diseases. It doesn't work. It's a very good sales pitch because we as humans love taking shortcuts. Something instantly can solve our problems. But that's not how life works. Nothing happens in an instant. If you look at nature, and that is the best lesson you can learn, right? How is nature formed? A tree takes a time. You want a people tree that can last hundreds of years? It takes years, decades to grow. Yeah, if you want something cheap, yeah, you can grow dhania or something, which comes back in a week or so, whatever. Okay. But if you want anything worthwhile, it'll take time, it'll take effort, but the results are long lasting and very worthwhile. So watch out for this one thing magic that get promoted very often. This is another very big thing. Okay, I call it the wrong comparison. Okay, what is the wrong comparison? Is somebody can come and say, and we all do that, right? And the magazines and newspapers and TVs really, oh, look at Mukesh Ambani has become the 10th richest man. And after a few months, he's the 9th richest man. And now he's the 6th richest man. Okay. And suddenly you feel that we have to compare ourselves with Mukesh Ambani or Adani or any of these super rich guys, right? And I call it's a wrong comparison. It's a completely wrong comparison because we don't know what Mukesh's goals are. Yeah, as an industrialist, of course, we may know his goals are to grow the industry and all, but we don't know his personal drive, right? What motivates him? So when you start comparing with somebody else, you are really taking their goals and measuring yourself, and you are bound to lose. You're bound to lose because that's not a right comparison in the first place. See, there is only one race. After decades of making mistakes and learning by trial and error, I can tell you the only race in the game of success is, are you better off today than yesterday, or a week ago, or a year ago? The race is only with ourselves. Are we getting better and better? It's never with somebody else. Because our goals, our aspirations, and our dreams can be very different than anybody else. So this is, be very careful not to get into this trap. And the media plays it so well. Oh, if you don't dress like this particular actor, oh, you are a misfit in society. Or if you don't, have this behavior, or if you don't drink this kind of alcohol, whatever. But these are all other people's ideas. So you need to know what is it you want, and are you accomplishing that at your own pace, within your own ability. Okay, and the next part is other big myth that always comes, oh, you need to be good in time management. Okay, or people say, oh, the reason this person is not only he's poor in time management. Let me give you, that's a big myth. Okay, why is it a myth? You cannot manage time. Everybody has 24 hours. How can you manage time? You can't. You can only manage yourself. You can only manage your priorities. Okay. So in the same time, there are people who are super successful and there are a majority who are not. So always remember to manage yourself. So you are using the time productively and working on items that are priority for you. So that's another myth. And the last one I'm gonna do is, this is another big thing. This also gets a little bit overlaps with the conformity, which I mentioned earlier. It's people do not leverage that strength. See, we all are unique and we need to understand that. Okay. And just because of all the news and everything, we are all conditioned to have a herd mentality, but individually, we all have our unique strengths. Okay. And we need to really understand that what our strengths are, and we need to play for that strength. And that is a very important part we need to do. Yes, it will require introspection. You can think through. Okay. And the best example I give is, if you put all the animals in a race, you have a crocodile, you have a snake, you have a rabbit, a tortoise, a lion, an elephant, okay, and let's say even a fish. What will happen? Or maybe if it is on land, there's a good chance the lion will win. But what if it's in water? The fish will win. The lion will be struggling to swim where the fish can just go. So what happens is, when you are in your environment, you need to play to your strengths. Okay. So, and I believe there's a very good saying which I believe is attributed to Einstein. You can't measure one's success by a fish's success by its ability to climb a tree, and fish can't climb a tree. So, and you can't say the fish is dumb. No, that's not its strength in the first place. Put the fish in water, and by the same choice, don't compare a monkey and a lion. A monkey can swing on the tree and do amazing things, but a lion can't. Does that make the lion is a weak animal? No. Lion has his strengths, the monkey has his strengths. So you need to play to your strengths. So spend some time and think through what are your strengths, and then develop those. If you think, hey, you're a little lacking, focus on your strength. And that's also a big management principle, by the way. So focus on your strengths. Okay, I think I'm pretty much coming close to this thing. So I know I can't take questions, but you guys can always reach out to me, and I'll give them my contact number to your professor. How you can reach, and we'll put it in the video also. Okay. So there are two things I want you to I'll share with you guys, and one is I'm not me actually. The Rotary Club here in Bangalore is doing an event it's a free event. Anybody who's a student in the college can join this event, and the theme is Ideas to Business, where people like me. So I was a founder of a startup company in California, and there's another founders, and then so few of us are coming together where we want to share different ideas on how you can take an idea, or even how to generate an idea, the topic I'm talking about, and how you can make it into a business, how to get funding, and all that part. So we are talking about this thing. So I will send the professor the details, how you can register in the next few days. It's on September 12th and 13th, Saturday and Sunday, from I believe 3:45 p.m. till 8 o'clock. So 2 days, and we're going to be sharing all this, pretty much a roadmap. How do you go about doing this, sharing our knowledge? And so I would request all of you to join and bring your friends along. It's going to be a great treat, Yeah. The second part is, I'm just publishing a book. The book just came out. So it's an e-book. Only reason is I'm not yet ready. I need to basically make it, get my portal and all that stuff done, which I will get done in the next few days. And so anybody who's on the show, okay, let me know and we'll post it. I'll post my this thing. And you are welcome to reach out to me, okay? And I'll absolutely give you a free copy of that book. It's about 180 pages. and it talks all about success principles, some amazing fundamental laws. This book changed my life. Okay, the concepts there have changed my life, and I'll be very happy to share with you guys. Okay, it's going to be my gift for taking the time and attending today's presentation. So with that said, I can't take questions. Professor, anyway, okay, since I can't take question, I'm going to leave it at this. So guys, I hope you learned something today. And the best way to reach out to me is you can reach out to me at info at championshub.in. So that's my email address. I'll be very happy to answer any questions and any guidance you need from me. Okay, no strings attached. Feel free to reach out to me. So with that said, I'm going to stop my presentation. And thank you again for everybody for attending. So Shri, back to you.
Thank you very much, Ajay Aiyar. It was a wonderful session, and it made us to understand now what exactly the important thing that we need to keep in our mind if we want to be successful in our life, and what are the myths that we carry with us and how we are not able to make it successful. And I really appreciate the way how you dealt and the way how you analyze the things, which are very important. Most important thing is are not investing on themselves. There's a concept of skill, mindset, and health, which are very, very important. And there's lot many things you spoke about. Time management is myth, where self-management is also is the only thing which we have, and how we can leverage our strengths. And you also said the Einstein rightly said that no, you cannot test with a fish and a monkey or some other. No,
exactly. Yeah.
Every person will have their own strengths at the same level. Every animal has got their own strengths. Thank you very much for your wonderful session. And also you started sharing your experience and how you grew, and at the same time, what are the success principles that we need to keep in our mind. Wonderful. And if you can stop sharing, if there are one or two queries, if they are there, we'll take.
Yeah,
And I request you to share your email ID in the
yeah,
chat
I'll just
box
put
so
on
that
chat. Yeah, 1 second, okay.
you can share your email ID in the chat box so that if they are interested,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
can connect with you. That will be a great help for them, because you also
Absolutely.
uh, yeah,
In fact, Professor, what I would offer, and if it's okay with you, uh, I can do a full 3 hour absolutely free, no charge. Any of your students, if you can get 100, 200, 300 students, or even more, I will love to do this, go over all these concepts, because I think I agree. When we spoke yesterday, I shared, right? See, we in India don't teach all these things. And these are very important in life. And sometimes we always believe, oh, it's connections and all. Okay, that makes it. But that is a very, very minor part in life. Okay, connections. And we can see in our life, there are a lot of people who are, as they say, they come on the top by helicopter, and they are so miserable, unsuccessful in life, because they have the connections but they don't have the ability, and they are not doing what they love to do. So if you are okay, I'll connect with you, and absolutely we'll do a session.
sure, wonderful, sir. Thank you for the offer, and where you are ready to render your service to make the society better, especially the students community. And also, I appreciate and I wish you all the best for the program which you are going to make it on September 12th and 13th, if I'm right, related to entrepreneurship development training program. And also, many students now, there's the trend which now after this government has come, they're encouraging a lot of startups and all. And even in Telangana, at Hyderabad, the government is also encouraging a lot of startups. They have got T Hub, where no Telangana Hub, where it is more focusing on the startups, especially from the engineering colleges and all. I'm glad that you're doing them the same, that so that no people will join and they will try to learn. And now it's open for the questions, queries. If anybody has got any
Yeah,
queries,
if
you
you
can.
can say yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
You can,
Praveen, I'll be sharing in a couple of days. So I'm just working on finalizing the topics and all. So I'll definitely share. I'll share with the professor if you're. He already has your email address, right? Because you
yes, yes.
registered for the event, and so we will send it to you. And it's a completely free event. It'll be great. Uh, so it is. Yeah. So I'm there. There's one more person who's called Urban Cowboy. He's the founder of a company called Urban Cowboy.
Sorry to interrupt. Can you stop sharing your screen, sir? So that
Oh,
we
yeah, yeah, yeah. Please. Yes, thanks. How do I? Oh, stop here.
Yeah, thank you so much. Okay, yeah, please.
Okay, great. Okay, sorry, didn't realize it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I will definitely. I will share that. So just bear with me for a couple of days. We still have over 2.5 weeks to go.
Yes.
So we'll just share that.
I think that if anything, if you need, also Sarah shared his email ID. You can always mail for the details also. The moment I get the details, I'll mail you all so that you can join that. And we are putting efforts. No, yesterday I spoke to Ajay and we are putting efforts so that no more number of people will get benefited, because when doing a program, it's meant for developing the students and ideas,
Exactly.
idea generation, and also the angel investments. That's very now the most important thing is people have got a lot of myths related to that also. Even that maybe they'll be busting those
Exactly.
myths on that session.
Exactly. And that is one of the topics. So I'm talking about idea generation because I had done my company, right? And we got venture capital funding and all. So how did we get ideas? So my topic is almost over our R&D. I'm going to talk because how do you get all these ideas, right? $1 million ideas to open a business, start a business. And then we have one person who's also again in this field, raised VC money and done businesses. He's going to talk about now once you have the idea, how you take it forward and turn it into a business. Okay, how do you do funding, operations, all those parts? So we are talking right from motivation, belief system, because first your belief has to be there that you can do it, then ideas, and then how do you take that idea, turn it into a business, and then the last part is he's a producer in Karnataka, and he's going to talk about basically how do you use a digital medium today to promote your business and take it forward. So it's all the components we are doing there. So anybody can. And again, the bigger idea we have is primarily instead of being an employee, you can become an employer,
Correct.
and that is a big mind shift India needs. So
Correct. Yeah.
so so great, and we'll definitely connect and see. When we can do a session on this entire success principles. Absolutely, we'll do it. I think students will love it. At least they should get their awareness that there is a science behind this.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much, Ajay. If there are no queries, then we'll call it a day. And I thank now Ajay for spending his time, and making us to understand what are the areas, especially 10 secret principles, how we can make yourself better and to be successful. Because these are all the things. I think he's a global person. I can say that. Now he has got a lot of experience working with West, and he understand our South, both Indians and also other country people, and what are the areas we need to focus in order to become more successful. Always we ape from the West, people say that, but there are certain things which we need to bust the myths which has busted. He categorically told that what are the areas that we need to improve. Thank you very much, Ajay, for making your time and making us to understand, and I hope that the viewers who are there on the YouTube will understand and they will try to implement in their life. As you rightly said that knowing is only knowing, doing is very important. So I think these people will execute them. And also it's an open invitation that because of this COVID-19, we started this Maheepathi talks where we are contributing to the society, where people can get better. And especially we are having talks related to life skills, soft skills, and also psychology. Because we'd like to see the build the support system where they can be mentally strong and physically strong at the same time. Because of COVID, now everybody is undergoing this, a pandemic situation, the financial crisis is happening, and other way around, there are many things have been, the people say that new normal, but I say that it is never normal. So hope that we will try to cope up with that and make our life better. So I openly invite Murli Manohar sir or Praveen, Maipal and Paul Singh. If you are interested to share your knowledge, you're welcome. I've shared my number over there. And thank you very much. And once again, I thank Ajay Aiyar, especially Supriya Galat, who has introduced me. And thank you, Supriya ma'am, for introducing a wonderful personality who made the day more successful by contributing the knowledge to the society. Thank you, one and
And
all.
thank you to you, Dr. Maheepathi, and everybody from your team for inviting me and making this happen. Great initiative. I wish you all the luck, and I hope millions of students benefit from the knowledge that you're sharing with everybody.
Thank you so much. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you. Okay, all right. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye bye.